Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Badman Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a quick look over of the Game Awards that just passed through, and I want to talk about what was announced and my own impressions of everything that happened during that. So let's jump right in and start taking a look at some of the stuff that was announced. First off, we have Perfect Dark, which was a huge surprise for me, that is for sure. And I know a lot of people are really excited about this. To tell you the truth though, I haven't played any of the Perfect Dark games, so I don't have a huge attachment to this, but it could be something special. And I'm glad to just see that Rare is still doing stuff. I would love to see Conquer back, in the limelight, but at the moment we're probably not going to be getting that anytime soon. So I'll probably end up trying Perfect Dark when it comes out. I loved Sea of Thieves. I loved Rare Replay. I've loved the stuff that the new Rare team has been putting out, so a new Perfect Dark might just be up my alley. I do like FPS games. The one thing everyone was waiting for. Little disappointing. I wanted Crash Bandicoot. But Sephiroth is pretty cool. I do like Final Fantasy games. As you know, you can check me out over on Twitch. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm planning on continuing it. Our Final Fantasy charity live stream, where we live stream every single Final Fantasy game, and each game has its own charity. All donations will be going to each of those charities during those games' live streams, which is awesome. I love Final Fantasy. I love the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I love that we now have Sephiroth to go alongside Cloud and Smash. Would he have been my first pick? No. Would he have been my second pick? No. There's so many other people I would have rather had in Smash, but it's still a cool pick, and he's going to be fun to play, and I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to enjoy this character, so I can see why he was added. The next Dragon Age game was announced and shown off. I'm assuming Dragon Age 4 is going to be the name of it, but who knows, maybe they'll change it. Maybe it'll be like Dragon Age, the reckoning of blah 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 blah. Who knows? But once again, another series I haven't played, which kind of sucks. I mean, it looks really good. I have bought Dragon Age Inquisition. I want to play it, just haven't had the time. Life is hard. There's not enough time to play stuff. But I know this series is a beloved BioWare franchise, and I'm assuming it's going to get the love it deserves. Just not for me. This had to be the weirdest thing in the Game Awards. Arc 2. I didn't think Arc was gonna get a sequel. I thought it was kind of like a standalone, ever-evolving thing, like an MMO, like Destiny, or, well, I guess Destiny got Destiny 2, but like, World of Warcraft, stuff like that. I just expected them to keep building on Arc, but I guess not. Also, the whole thing with, I forget his name, but the actor who plays the main character, who's also going to be in an Arc TV show movie thing that they showed off. This was just really weird. I can't stop thinking about it. I dream about Arc 2 now. Like, not in a good way, in like a why is this a thing kind of way. I didn't like Arc. I tried it. I couldn't get into it. I found it was so hard to get into and so difficult. I understand why it's cool and why people like it. Survival game where you get to ride dinosaurs and have fucking laser beams on the dinosaurs. Cool. I just couldn't get into it. I found it was so hard, and it was glitchy for me when I was playing it, so I had issues with it, sadly. Not my cup of tea, but one of my good friends really into it, plays it all the time, so I know he's really excited about this, and I'm assuming the rest of the Arc community is super excited to see what they bring into this game. Maybe if it's not as hard as the first one, maybe I'll get into it, because I like the concept. I like the idea of dinosaurs with lasers on their heads and riding them around. I like that idea. I just don't like how hard it is to get into the game, so we'll see. Housemarque, the creators of games like Nex Machina, Resogun, Storm Divers, Matterfall. I've never heard of any of these games. But they had a big announcement about Returnal, and the game that looked cool. It had this Mass Effect vibe to it, and I'm actually interested in it. It looks really cool, and it looks like it could be a fun adventure FPS kind of game. And it was one of the games that actually had gameplay. It wasn't just CGI trailers to show off a bunch of who diddy that'll never be in the actual game, you know what I mean? So it was nice to actually see some gameplay. Someone had the cojones to show off some gameplay at the Game Awards, which I respect. I'm gonna give your game a look. Maybe I'll even buy it. But let's move on to the most important announcement that I was excited for. The coup de la grace. Mwah. Mass Effect's return. Oof, I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. I don't make this prominent enough, but I love Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect Andromeda. All of them. Even Andromeda. I loved them. It's just something. I have a big old throbbing one for space shooter games. Just if you're in space and you're shooting stuff and there's all kinds of different races and species and stuff, the game gets me going. Destiny, Borderlands, Mass Effect. I love it. You got any more recommendations in that falls under those three categories of those games? Send them my way, because I'm gonna play the shit out of that game. That's all I could say. I'm really excited. I don't know how they're gonna continue, because you saw like the N7 like emblem show up during the whole thing, and it was like, what? Like, how are they gonna continue this? Like, with how Mass Effect 3 ends, it doesn't really make sense to have a Mass Effect 4. I like the idea of Andromeda and the way the story, the way that they took it with them sending off into Andromeda and having a whole new series and in Andromeda. I wasn't a huge fan of like how it was built up. Like, there's only like, you got there and there's only like a couple species. It would have been really cool if like you got there and you just immediately like landed in and you're like, holy shit, Andromeda's like even more advanced than the Milky Way or something. Like, there's like tons of new races and like all this other crazy stuff, and you'd have like, there was like multiple like citadels or something like that. Like, that would have been cool. And you learn that like the race that like made the Citadel and the Milky Way and the mass relays or whatever were actually from Andromeda, or some crazy mind-blowing thing like that. Like, that would have been cool. But instead we got what we got, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the best it could have been, sadly. And I would have liked to see Andromeda continue, but obviously it's not gonna happen because everyone hated it, except for me, I guess. But I mean, I did play the game a year later when it was actually patched and decent. Anyways, Mass Effect 4, I'm really excited to see where they bring this. I'm so excited to play it. I have a feeling it'll be a start of a two trilogy and a new story. I have a feeling it's so far ahead now for Mass Effect 3. We're like two console generations ahead now. So bringing your save data from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 over to this new Mass Effect would just be like, there's no way. There's no way they would do that. So I'm assuming this is going to be a brand new story, probably the start of a new trilogy where we'll have the same concept of Mass Effect 1, where you'll overarching story through 3 games, you bring your saves forward, yada yada yada. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I hope they do something good with it and it's not a letdown like Andromeda was to a lot of people. You know how I was saying I like dinosaurs with lasers on their heads? Well, you know what else I like? Dragons. And riding dragons. And you know what else is cool? Fighting other people on dragons in a multiplayer game. And that's what this is. Century Age of Ashes was also announced. No clue about this game. Had no idea it was in the works. I don't know if this was the first time it was announced, but it looks really cool. It's literally a game where you ride dragons around and fight other people in dragon battles. I don't know how I didn't think of that. I could have made that game, made millions of dollars. Just ride dragons, kill other people. I mean, I can't make video games, but I mean, I could have pitched the idea to a company, right? Either way, this looks amazing. Actually, I wouldn't say amazing. This looks cool. I'm willing to give this a try. There's a beta. I'm going to probably give it a try. Dragons flying around, shooting fireballs. It's like Spyro. Mature Spyro. PvP Spyro. Maybe that's going a little bit far. Either way, this one seems kind of cool. Give it a check out, you know? One thing that surprised a lot of people, including myself, Left 4 Dead 3. Not really. Not at all. Back 4 Blood. Which from my understanding is actually made by the developer, some of the developers at least, of Left 4 Dead 3, Left 4 Dead 2, sorry, we never got a 3. And this is basically just their own version of it, away from Valve, with its own name. It looks cool. Again, we didn't actually get to see any gameplay. It's all just cutscene stuff, but the concepts look cool. It seems the exact same as Left 4 Dead. 4 people, there's special zombies, normal zombies. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot like Left 4 Dead. Until we see some gameplay, though, I'm not going to get too excited for this one. Don't get me wrong, I love Left 4 Dead. Loved Left 4 Dead 2. I love everything it brought to the table. Being able to play as zombies and fight against other people. Just having fun with friends. It's been so long since I played Left 4 Dead, and I would love a new one to play with friends because it's such a good series to play with friends. It's just like that friend game, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when this comes out, tons of people are going to be streaming this, and it's going to be really popular if it's as good as Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. That's the if. We need to see some gameplay, and we need to see what we get to play around with. What are the guns like? What is the gameplay like? Is it like Left 4 Dead? Is it completely new? How many new zombies are there? Can we play as the zombies? Are there going to be zombie versus players? Like, these are the questions we need answers. So I'm excited for what this game could be, but I'm going to keep my expectations low until we actually get some gameplay and some news on it. You know what I mean? Just like I said before, I love games where you get to be in space and you get to shoot people. And Elite Dangerous does that. At least it does part of it. You get to be in space, right? I played it a little bit, got kind of bored of it, just the fact of it's just kind of flying in space. It was cool. But they're adding a DLC that lets you walk around and lets you shoot people. I'm excited to give this one a try. I already own the game, so I'm going to have to get the DLC and give this one a try and see what it's like. I mean, it's no Mass Effect, it's no Destiny, it's not as crazy. There's not as, like, tons of different races and stuff like that. But it's definitely a good game, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table with this DLC. That's about it. I guess I don't really have much to add with this one, but I just wanted to talk about it because I like space things. So hopefully you don't mind this, like, 5-second segment about, you know, Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Right? Sorry. Evil Dead, the game. This actually looks really cool. We got some gameplay, we got some CGI stuff. I don't know how this is going to work. It seems like it's somewhat of a multiplayer survival game. Where you're all at the cabin and you all got your guns and your axes and stuff, and all the evil dead's coming for you. And it seems like an interesting concept. It seems like it's going to be like a multiplayer survival horror game, kind of like Phasmo, but not obviously in the same vein, since you have guns and stuff and you can actually shoot stuff. And it seems like you can move faster than like 2 centimeters a second, like in Phasmo. If this is a game that's kind of like that genre where it's like a survival horror co-op kind of experience, I'm down for that. I'm down for more games in that vein. There's not a lot of games where it's like a survival horror-esque kind of game where it's not, you know, like an asymmetric thing like Dead by Daylight. There's a ton of those, but there's not a lot kind of like Phasmo. So more games like that could be cool. I'm definitely down for that. It Takes Two was a game that I was actually really excited for when I saw it. This is a game that I'm probably gonna pick up and I'm gonna play with my fiance. It's like this adorable love story co-op game, kind of like, it reminds me of A Tale of Two Sons, or I forget what the name of the game is. It's the one where the two guys that are breaking out of prison. I like those kind of games where it's like a co-op experience. I grew up playing kind of games like that with my friend. There weren't a lot of them that existed back then, but like Army of Two was a fantastic experience, and I would love more games like that. And It Takes Two seems to be, you know, kind of in that vein of, you know, just playing with your friend and experiencing the story together through two separate characters. And I love that concept, and I want to see more games like it. And being able to play something like this with my fiance, it's going to be fantastic. So that's something personally that I'm excited for. I don't think a lot of people are excited for this game. I mean, let me know in the comments below if you are, but I'm gushing over this one, you know? I can't wait to give it a try. We got a ton of Fortnite stuff. We got Kratos, the God of War guy. We got Master Chief, the Halo guy. Ninja's already in there, but we're also getting Red versus Blue. We're getting Blood Gulch, baby. I mean, I don't play Fortnite, but I find it's pretty dang cool that we're getting Master Chief and Blood Gulch in Fortnite. I mean, that's just cool. I know a lot of people thought it was dumb seeing Ninja, you know, talk with the Red versus Blue guys, but I thought that was amazing. I thought it was hilarious, and like watching, like, for those of you who don't know, I was really into Major League Gaming Halo back when it was, you know, in its prime days of Halo 2, and watching Red versus Blue when it was first coming out. You know, it's the first 5 seasons and even past that, but the first 5 seasons majorly were fantastic, and I loved watching those and watching MLG Halo 3 and Halo 2. So seeing Ninja from, like, you know, when I was watching him growing up playing Halo 3, and watching and seeing him communicate with Red versus Blue and Blood Gulch and having their like back and forth, it was adorable. Obviously Ninja's no actor, so his acting in that sketch was kind of like it was like awkward to say the least, but it was cool to see him like talking, and that again, just gushing on random things that I personally love, but I know a lot of people probably thought was dumb. So I don't know, that's the least to say for me on that part. And lastly, Elder Scrolls 6. No, I'm just kidding. We're getting Skyrim again on the next gen consoles. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim comes to Xbox One X with you know, Xbox Game Pass. It was weird. I kind of expected it. I expected to get Skyrim on the next gen consoles before we got Elder Scrolls 6. Am I disappointed? No, yes, no. I was kind of expecting to see something Elder Scrolls 6. Still waiting. Still waiting. And that about sums it up. There were a few other games that I just didn't really feel like talking about, but, you know, you can't talk about them all. I mean, you can, but it's just going to get boring if I keep rambling on and on and on about stuff I don't even care about. So, we're just going to leave that, let someone else talk about it. You watch someone else talk about it. For me, I'm just going to let it be. Till then, thank you all for watching. Feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell button, because a ton of you watching right now surprisingly aren't subscribed. Or surprisingly not, I don't know. But either way, if you're not subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. Also hit that bell if you want to be notified when I make more videos. I do tons of stuff. Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. If you're into old school PS2 platformers, PS1 platformers, feel free to subscribe. I do tons of stuff. I'm most likely going to be doing a ton of Ratchet and Clank content coming up. So get hyped for that if you like Ratchet and Clank, because I'm really excited for Rift Apart, and I can't wait to see more gameplay on that. But until then, thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video.